Coach Johnny, we're going to ask a lot of questions about Barker, but how much does her return help the other players? So many other players maybe had their best game in a long time today.
It opens up the floor, right? She sees well, you gotta guard her, you gotta respect her, and so it just frees up other players to have the freedom to do more, and you can't crowd the paint as much. I said this out there on the radio. Obviously a lot of attention is going to go to Janiyah, and it should. She was incredible tonight, 10 for 11 from the field. But the seven that held it down until her and Tanea could come back. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of how they fought at times. That was not Mackenzie Green and Sahara Jones, and then Mackenzie comes back and Sahara goes out. You know, what did we learn from today? I think all the seven losses prepared us for today, and then obviously she comes and you've got to guard her everywhere. She just brings a different energy, a different confidence to our team.
How rewarding was it just for you as a coaching staff to get that win for, like you said, those 7 players who've been going through this?
So happy for them. It feels so good for them. It feels so good for them to continue to trust the process. They could have laid down a long time ago and they didn't. They trust us. They believe in what it is that we're telling them, and for them to continue to fight the way they have and show up every day and go out there and compete. For them to get the reward of that. Today, with the success being a win, the result being what we all want, I couldn't be happier or more proud.
What you do possibly to change? You only had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Turnovers was a problem. You talked about trying to handle pressure and press, but
Yeah.
anything change in the fourth quarter possibly you feel to cut down on the turnovers?
Well, we eventually, we got Tanea back in. I think also we just shifted it. Like when you are facing a press like that for 40 minutes, and let me just say, Abe does an amazing job and give them credit for how they manage it and run it and just keep coming and keep coming. It can wear you down, not only physically but mentally. And Mackenzie had been back there the entire third and fourth quarter. She was playing well. I didn't want to take her out. And she just went into some no spots for us. We talked about these are no spots. We can't take the ball here. And what happened tonight is we took it there and had success. And so then we kept going back to it. And then when the fourth quarter comes, it becomes the no spot, and there we are standing in it. And so we just shifted a little bit. We have a little bit of a triangle, and so we took Mackenzie off the ball and put KK up there, and then we put Tanea up there, and she was able to break it. So it's just, again, sometimes just giving that person a rest. We didn't change our offense. We just shifted who was up there to kind of mentally give them a break.
Your players said that you treated it as just another game, but what did it mean to you to beat Georgia today?
Exactly what they said. Just another game. I love the University of Georgia. I was there for 11 years. In some ways, I jokingly say I feel like, part of me went to school there. The bond that I have with former players there and alumni, like, it is real. So I that's a special place. But it was the next game on our schedule. Just like when I went to Alabama last week, I played at Alabama. I worked at Alabama. It was the next game on our schedule. That's all that means.
And Janiyah talked about, she said she didn't feel like her hand was, limiting her shooting. Obviously, numbers can back that up. Were you surprised at all that, I guess from her working through rehab, that she was able to shoot the ball so well?
No. She has worked the entire time she's been injured. Obviously, when she first fractured her wrist, she couldn't do anything with the right hand, so everything was left-handed. And, we jokingly told her, your wrist might be broke, but nothing's wrong with your leg, so you're going to stay in shape. So she, give her and Yolanda Berry-Hill, our strength and conditioning coach, along with Stacy Kizzle, our trainer, all the credit. The 3 of them got together, put a plan together. Our doctors were excellent, Dr. Marsh, in getting her return back, but it was first left hand. So she was shooting everything left-handed. Layups, free throws, jumpers, threes. And then when she was able to do some stuff with her right hand, it became ball handling. The entire time she's still on the treadmill, she's still in the weight room. And then as she got more comfortable and her wrist continued to heal, she's shooting the ball. She never stopped shooting the basketball. And then obviously within the last 2 days, we progressed her into practice. And so I'm not shocked. She's special.
She said she didn't know this morning she was going to be able to play.
Yeah. I didn't either.
And you said limited time. Was just on her legs, or did you end up, she play about what you thought she would?
It was her time. Her and Tanea both were right at a 20 to 22 minute clock. Yeah, that was what we had in our head for them.
Smith struggled for them, their second leading scorer. I didn't know if you guys did something special for her, or you didn't have a lot of steals, but they didn't really get on a run offensively.
Yeah, she is really efficient. She shoots 58% from the field. I mean, my goodness, and she jumps well. She's a quick jumper and a high jumper. So once she gets her shot into the air, there's not really much you can do. So we really tried to be good about crowding her space. Number one, if she can't touch it, she can't score it. She got her touches, and then I think we bothered her early, and then late she just missed some shots that she normally doesn't miss.
How did you see Joni overcome? She said she had a little bit of trouble overcoming the mental block of the wrist action of shooting. How did you see her overcome that in terms of finally getting back into that groove of saying that's not going to happen again?
I think just trusting the process, trusting the work. You know, I think the biggest thing for her is she's been a flopper for a long time. Even in high school, I was like, you've got to learn how to fall or stop falling. And so, you know, we've joked about that quite a bit. But I think just her, you know, there was some tenderness when she first came back, but I think really it was soreness, muscle soreness more than it was a bone thing. And so once she figured that out, she was pretty good from that point on.
How much do you think it helped for her being, you know, as engaged as she was this whole time,
Mhm.
you know, on the bench, even, you know, before she checked into the game?
Well, her and Tanea too. I thought Tanea was really well. I thought they were engaged and knew the game plan. They knew all the plays. Those were all new plays we ran today. And again, they didn't know they were playing until today either, so they could have easily not known the offense. But we told them, all of our injured players, we have said to them, when you come back, you've got to be able to pick up where we are. We don't have time to go back and teach. That's not where we are. We're fighting for our lives. It is on you. And we have the resources and the tools and the technology to help you know that. But you've got to jump in where we are, or this train's moving and you're gonna get left behind. And so not just Janiyah and Tanea, you saw that today because they played, but that's the expectation for Sahara whenever she comes back also.
Patty fouls out, but still you have two extra bodies coming down
Yeah.
with the game on the line. You've been in games late in the third quarter, fourth quarter, and it fell apart, whatever. How much as a coach how much more do you feel your team had? Just you're the only one who can gauge that with 5 minutes to go, and you're saying to yourself, "Hey, we got it." I mean, how much do you feel you had at that point? You know, at those points.
Well, I think until the clock goes to zero, you don't know. You're just like, come on, let's do this. But we felt much better in terms of when if Patty would have fouled out and we didn't have Janiyah, then you're looking at, you know, that's a big team. And so now Irony is going to play, and now you're talking about rebounding in a game like that, you know. So having extra bodies definitely made us feel a lot more comfortable. It also allowed us to maneuver things around in different ways and where we haven't been able to in the past. And just, you brought her name up, but I just want to say too, like, you know, Patty was I'm not going to say our sacrificial lamb, but she sacrificed herself today and became an excellent passer. We knew we needed her to pass the ball today. And she took that role on. She became, at the beginning of the game, she became the guard in our press where we could pass it to her and she could see everybody and make the right decision and make the right pass. And that shows up in the stat sheet with her 11 assists. And so I definitely want to give her a shout out for we talk about giving yourself up, whether that's making a cut so that the next person can fill and be open, whether that means, you know, you taking a different role this game because it's going to help us. We talk about giving yourself up, and she gave herself up today to be a passer for us, and I'm super proud of her for doing that and wanting to take that on.
That it? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.